Welcome back in my channel today. Hope you are doing good and well in your life. Thank you so much for liking my previous video on the Utah release, on the new features, and let's explore Utah part 1. Now, I come up with the new updates in the Utah. So few points we are going to be covered in this particular session or this particular recording includes CSDM and the CMDB updates, action to soft flow conversion, action in a flow, how to identify, and the last, that is next experience preferences. So let's not put more time and let me start the discussion. We will go in the reverse order because something which is important from the business process consultant perspective, from the business analyst perspective, from the end user perspective, those are the things we are going to be discussed on the first point. So now let me take you on my instance here. So I'm on the Utah release. Let me show you here. We can see stats.do is the command which we use for the Utah. So you can see here I'm on that particular part. So the first point which I'm going to be discussed here, which says about the next experiences preferences. So what ServiceNow introduced here in this particular part, so you can go here and you can see the preferences. Number one point which ServiceNow added here in the display, these two new properties has been added, this two new functionality has been added by ServiceNow. So now let me show you that how it works specifically. Now if I go here and let's say I want to make any module or any application as a favorite, so I can click here, I can get this option, right? So if I go here on the preferences again and I'll go to display, and if I off this and I come back here and click on the change, or let me search for the, or let me say I want to make this as a favorite, so I'm not getting that quick edit option here. So this is what a user experience perspective ServiceNow has introduced this particular property or the option in the part of the UI next experience from the ServiceNow perspective in the Utah release. So I'm enabling it. This is something which is I tried to be identified but did not get much success on that part. It says show results from other menu while filtering menu items. So something it is related on this part again from the menu item here. But I tried a lot of things but did not get much success. I tried on the ServiceNow docs as well, did not get much update on that part. It's a big length has been given, the same wording has been given by ServiceNow in the docs as well, but tough to be understand that what has been changing here. Something new given by ServiceNow in the Utah release. One more thing important here, that ServiceNow is calling this as the next UI experience. So they want to be enhanced a few more parts in that particular thing. Now, another point which ServiceNow introduced in the next experience is for the workspaces. But a good point with ServiceNow say, which personally I don't like, that in the preferences I'm not getting the workspace option here. So ServiceNow say if you want to make any changes on the workspace perspective specifically, then you have to go on the workspace. So let me show you my workspace here. Service operation workspace, I open it here. Two new preferences introduced by ServiceNow on this particular part. Number one is on the ribbon and number two is on the side window. So let it be open quickly, then I'll show that particular preferences here. Okay, it's taking time for me. Let me reload this page. Yep. So let me show you, let me go here on the preferences part. In my again on the user menu we'll go and we'll see that part here there only. Let me click here. And now this has been loaded. So I'll click on my user menu preferences and I click on the preferences here. And now you can see the new preference for the workspace has been added by ServiceNow. Again, if you notice on this particular screen, you can see number one, this is next UI experience added by ServiceNow in the Utah release. Plus, now we can get a page. Now we are getting an option on the configure workspace and configure pages as well. So let me show you this part first of all, that how it's work. Click on the workspace here, and here you can see show the sidebar. This option ServiceNow has make it as a hide or show as per the user experience. So if I click here, you can see the section has been gone. If I click on here, the section has been updated. Show the ribbons. As of now, for my incident table, I don't have any ribbon, so it will not show any impact here. But if you have any ribbon, then you can definitely check this particular part here. But this particular preference only and only will appear when you are on the workspace. But yes, it is a one-time activity. If you're done, you can use it for the later on as well. So this is the first part. Second part, under this only, because these two options has been added by ServiceNow in the user menu itself. Number one, configure workspace, and you can do the configure pages as well, ribbon related list as well. This is what a quick win given by ServiceNow if you want to make a changes here. So if I click on this configure workspace, I'm going to the same part where you can go from application menu as well. But as you are already on the workspaces part, you can go here. Now only one thing which need to be checked here, that is this particular option in the user menu available for every user or only for the admins? That we need to be check on that part. So you can see I'm on the workspace part here. Another part you can see I can configure the pages and everything will be open in the new window. That is again a good point. ServiceNow say action bar configuration. I can open the all actions, I can open the ribbons, and I can open the form layout, and I can open the related list as well. So all the things which I need to be work on the specific part of this workspace, instead of going here and searching everything and go for configure workspace, better I can go here. So you can see its page is still loaded, so it will take me on this particular view. Definitely I'm not in the domain, so it's showing me like this only. If you are thinking that how this dark color is coming, so it is again coming from the preferences only. You can see here the preferences. You can see you can change in the form layout, you can check on the UX part, you can do these actions and all the things. But yes, this is only applicable for the workspace perspective. So don't get confused that can we do everything for here. Let me quickly change the view here, or let me come on the dashboard. And if you see here in the preference number one, these two options has gone. A beautiful part ServiceNow done. Thank you so much for this. And preferences, again the workspace has been gone from here. So this was the first part which we have discussed. In the next experience, preferences, a good one. Two things which we discussed. Number one, ServiceNow added in the preferences here display 1 and 2, and other than it's for the workspace. The only thing is required that only the two options or the preferences will appear only when you are focused on the workspace only then it will be work for us. Now let's come to a little bit on the flow designer specifically. So two new changes ServiceNow introduced in the flow. Definitely as a consultant, as a business process analyst, or business process consultant or the business analyst, it is not for me completely, but yes, for the development perspective, it is very good option given by ServiceNow. How it works, let me take you on this part. So I'll go here and open the flow designer. Yeah. So let me say save here. Okay. So now what ServiceNow say that, let's say in my sub flow I have in my flow I have a lot of actions which may be used in some other flow as well, but by adding those actions one by one is a tedious task. So ServiceNow say we can make those action as a sub flow as well. So let me show you a simple relevant example that how it's work. So I'll put and search for the request because it is easy for me to out of box to show you. Let me say I will open a service catalog item. Okay, so number one point, if you want to see number one, you can see the option called the select multiple. If this option is available, it means you can use this functionality given by ServiceNow that is called action to subflow. So what I will do, I'll click on this part, and here you can select the actions which you want to convert. I'll not say the convert, but which you want to be move into the subflows. So 1, 2, I can say 3, and I can say this. It's all I can say hierarchical, so you can do one and the child will be getting here, and then you will get an option called this thing operation. I'm not sure that it is my system issue or something, but if I click on this operation, or you can click on this next or the new tab as well. So it's a open subflow in the subflow designer. So I can click on this so that it is visible for very clearly. So now you can see all the selected actions are coming in the new subflow. So I can create my own subflow here and put the things in that particular part. The only benefit from the from the development perspective, instead of adding the multiple action in a flow, better create the multiple actions in the subflow, and that your work will be done a quick manner. The next option which is given by ServiceNow, action in a flow. I still remember the example when I was giving the trainings on the service portal, that if I make a change in widget, specifically when I did not copy the widget for making the changes, then it can reflect all the portals where I'm going to be use that part. So this option ServiceNow provided a quick check before you make a changes in the action. So what I have to do, let go here and let me search for the action, and I can say a normal action called the notification. Simple layman, if I say, the only purpose is that if you're going to make a change in out of the box action, it will pop up you something which is be good for the development perspective. So let's say this is my action and I want to be add a new step here. Either, okay, let me say I want to be ask for approval. I'm just adding one something, nothing much. Now let's say I added this and I put some kind of a statement inputs, and let's say this, and I'll just put it this and click on the save here. When I click on the save, it is going to be check something in the background, or if it did not work, then I'll show you the option that how it can be work. So I can go here and I can see the C related flows. This is the option introduced by ServiceNow in the utilities, which it say if you are going to make a change in this action, this particular workflow or the flow or the subflow will be also getting impacted. So please make sure, if you'll be confident, only then make a change in the action, otherwise it can create a problem at the later on. This is a simple purpose of providing this particular option by ServiceNow in the action in a flow where it has been used. Now I'm coming to my favorite topic. Definitely it's a wonderful topic which I always like, that what ServiceNow bring from the CSDM and the CMDB perspective. So in this part, let me take you on my instance again. Let me close all other tabs quickly. Yeah. So in this part, number one, ServiceNow introduce. Let me go on the global one so that it is easy for everything to be do. No issues in that particular part. Yeah. So in the CMDB part, number one, ServiceNow enhance the CMDB workspace. That is a very good ServiceNow introduce. Sorry, ServiceNow enhance. Number two, ServiceNow introduce a concept called the CMDB 360. I'm not going to put the degree here because it's not a degree. It's just a 360 means overall view you can see on about a CMDB in the CMDB workspace as well. So I'll go here and you can see this is my CMDB workspace. I will open it. Again, one important point which ServiceNow say here, that in this workspace, ServiceNow introduce. Okay, let me take you on the bigger size first. Number one, this particular tab has been renamed now. It was some earlier name. It was something named else previously. I'm forgetting it now. But now this has been called as a governance, and a new tab has been added by ServiceNow as a management and the CMDB 360. Also, ServiceNow enhance, it's like a global one. When I say global one means, or in the normal word, I can say now this menu will be existing if you are going to be anywhere else as well in the, so it's not going to be over here. So you can see here in the home part, ServiceNow introduced the intelligent search. That is the number one part. Also, they enhance something on the deduplication task. Again, there's no much changes at this point of time, but something with ServiceNow say that what's new application, new hardware, you can see here. Overall picture, you can see total CI summary, my CIs which I earned, or I can say in this particular place, you can see that how many services are coming from the cloud and how many services coming from the non-cloud as well. But again, as this is my PDI, I don't have an integration with the other sources, so there's no CIs coming in my system at point of time. Tough to show, but you can refer to the docs.servicenow.com to understand this part. Now, what ServiceNow introduced new in this particular area that we need to be understand. So let me come to the CMDB 360. Number one question come in the mind that Atul, can we use CMDB 360 in our PDI? Can we do some kinds of hands-on? Yes, we can do. To activate this CMDB 360, number one, we have to activate the ITOM visibility license. Yes, if you go to your, if you are be having a CMDB workspace, if you click on that, by default it will show the two messages in the red color. Number one, it says that you can install the, let me show you here, plugins here. It will display a message like that you need to be install the item visibility license, and when you go in the plugins as well, it will show you, or it will show you a message that it is a dummy you are going to be use item visibility. So now you can see here something like you will be getting here, and if I click on this install plugin, so once I click on this, because I already done that, but I'm not sure that this is the right one, or I'm missing out the plugin name here, but it will show you that it is a dummy. Number one, because we are going to be installed on the PDA part. Number one. Second, once that has been done, we have to be enable the system property. The property name is multi-source. The property contains the multi-source. What this mean? This CMDB 360 particular tab will display the CIs from the different sources, because in an organization we will be getting the CMDB not only from one source, multiple sources are there, and definitely for a configuration manager it is a tough task always to find out that which CI is coming from the which source. And this particular workspace are giving more flexibility and more easy user presentations, so that we can identify that from where it is becoming. So again, I'm repeating, two things need to be do if you want to be using the PDA. Number one, activate the item visibility license. That is again dummy, you can get PDA very easily. Second, in the system property, you have to be update the multi-source. By default or out of the box, I can say it is a false, and you can activate the value to the true here. And this CMDB 360° is used mainly for the multi-source configuration items, from where when you are getting the when you are getting CIs on the different sources in your system. Now, what ServiceNow bring in this tab? Number one, if you can see potential issue, again maybe you have a question, Atul, it's showing 0 for me. Yes, because I did not have any integration from in my PDA. I tried something, but it's not working, so I need to be reset my instance, guys, in that part. So it can show that which are the CI not reported by the discovery sources, where the data mismatch, data sources, that how many discovery sources. So it will show you the discovery sources, how many records I'm getting, and how many CIs need to be reconciled. So I guess the by default value, it can be 100K it can show, but I guess it's more than that. And here you can get the data as per the discovery sources as well. I will show you when we go for the next part. I'll show that what are the discovery sources I can get very easily here. So here we can get the coverages, and then I'll come on the setting part. Most important, I'm skipping it for a minute. Let me show you something on the setting parts here. Setting is something like you can say the property level discussions we can say here. Okay, so let me click on this this settings and let it be load. So by default, I can say on the global setting, you can see 1 lakh records. Enhancements can be done, but again, like ServiceNow say 5 lakh, you can do 5 million, you can do, but again, don't go more than that. It can impact your system performance. Potential issue, by default, it will be taking on the 7 days of the discovery. You can increase up to 90 days, but more you do, it more be a kind of a data will be there. Data mismatch, you can put the classes here for which classes you want to be put the data mismatch. So you can add multiple things. And beautiful part again, ServiceNow done, they are remove the tables. So they're giving a flexibility to check on the table name like in a normal English or the natural English processing. I can say this thing. Thank you ServiceNow for adding this functionality for the people like me who are not 100% developer but want to be use these options here. And then coverage settings specifically, because again tough to be show me here that how it will look like, but you can see from the graphics here that I can see in the coverage that how many CIs with a single source, with a double source, and kind of a number of sources you can see in the graphical representation. So in short, I can say this particular settings can help every configuration manager to see that how the CIs are coming and you can use. Only thing which is required, it required the item visibility license. As of now, rest you can connect with the ServiceNow salesperson or the product team or the docs.servicenow.com. You can refer. Now let me come back here and let me show this another option. So from the configuration manager, it is always a point that he want to be run some query on the runtime instead of going here, creating on the report and all the things. Now as a configuration manager, I can create my queries here and it will display me the all queries which I'm creating here. So What ServiceNow introduced here, we as a configuration manager can create three type of queries. Number one, a basics one, the ServiceNow say. Second, if you want to be run a query on the source gap specifically, and number three, on the attribute level, you can create it. So now again, no data, so it's tough for me to be show the results, but we can see that how it can be do. So number one, I'm running a query for the first part, that is the basics one. It says on which particular class you want to be run this particular query. I said okay, I want to be go for the, let's say, network or the routers. Okay, IP routers I can put, and it say which is the discovery source you want to be get this particular query. So you can click on the continue. A good interface given by ServiceNow. And if you see out of the box, ServiceNow give me these many particular, let's say ServiceNow here, these many particular discovery sources has been given, and you can add multiple. It's not like it's only one I can do at a time. ServiceNow watch, let's say I want to go for something on the L-Trace, and I want to go for something in the Tivoli as well. So multiple sources you can do, and as soon as you're done, you can see the results layout, how you want to see your data. Click on the queue, this one, show unique CMDB records or show CI records by discovery sources. Any option you can do, and limit result all applications with technical or the groups you can do. In the application services, you can put as per your requirement. If I'm putting as a all, so that if something gets generated, we can see, and continue, and you can save your part. So I can say basic demo. You can put the description as a configuration manager. You want to schedule the query, yes, you can run, but before that you have to be save it, and then you can schedule this particular part. Okay, and you can see this on the query save simply, and you can run at least once, and then you can schedule if you want to do that part. It will not come on the CMDB 360 tab. It is a separate query which you can run again as per requirement. Now you can see create schedule is there. You can create a schedule as per requirement. Again, same thing which we have done, scheduling query, and daily, weekly, monthly. No, once nothing is within, only three options given by ServiceNow: daily, weekly, monthly. Little bit hard, but it's look good because it is new as of now. Save. If you want to go for the dashboard, you can click on the, or you can get the report as well. That's again good. And by creating report, you can bring on the dashboards. But again, this is a workspace. This is not a dashboard, so don't get confused. So you can go and you can see here. Okay, now if you refresh it, I can say basic demo is there, and it will be sorted in a sequence, which is the latest one on the come on the top. You can run, you can delete as well. Another part. Second thing, if you want to go for the gaps between the discovery sources, let's say I have two different sources. I want to understand the gap on which part. Let's say I want to go on the computer. I like this option which is given by ServiceNow in the natural language processing. Loving it. And by this way you can do your part. Non-reporting discovery sources, let me say it's a ServiceNow, and select reporting discovery sources. From where you're getting the reports here, I can say from the import set. So continue. Results again the same manner you can do, and click on the continue here and save. Okay, it's saying query all the name. Let me say is source gap demo. I can put it and click on the save here. I know it's tough to get the things here because there's no data, but option is given in your official instances. You can use it and you can do your part. If you want to edit, you can edit here. Let's go back here and let me come on the CMDB 360 and refresh it. And the last one which I'm going to be create is called the attribute level. So you can go here, set class again. Let me say on the computer. And then you can put the conditions as per that. Approval group like this, or description should be like this, and all the things we can put it like assign to is not empty. Let's say assign to is empty, and click on this again. Attribute to compare. Which attribute you want to be compare? Any attribute does not match, or every attribute. I say every attribute does not match, or let's say any attribute. Maybe I can get some results as well, and you can put the here as well. The details little bit more you can do. Let me say is assign to and continue. Same thing, option given by ServiceNow. Compare to CMDB and sorry. Okay, I'm getting into resource. Sources. Continue and attribute demo. I can put and I can click on the save here. So query save, we can execute if you want to say, but if it'll show anything, I'm not showing that particular part. Okay, nothing is there. Now, if I come back to the CMDB 360 degree, sorry, not degree, it's at CMDB 360 only. So these are the updates given by ServiceNow on this particular tab. But again, this will only work and looks good when you have multi-sources enabled and item visibility licenses there. Now, another point with ServiceNow say in the governance, which was already there, but it has been renamed now, where the action required from the admin perspective, from the data manager perspective, you can see open tasks, overdue tasks. Maybe you can use that part here. Something new ServiceNow added is called the management tab here, where the management actions are required, not from the different people. So you can see here, it is something, when you see here, it's something I can say from the CMDB dashboard itself, but it is from the management perspective. You can see multiple options, create application service, and ServiceNow giving the options here as well, like the same thing. Management tools, CA class manager, you want to go, groups, you want to go, dynamic groups, CMDB health foundation, you can go and click, another window will be open. That is another good point given by ServiceNow here. So this is, I guess this is all about from my side as of now on these 4 points. Number 1, next experience preferences. Number 2, action in a flow, action to subflow, CSGM, and the CMDB 360, which has been introduced by ServiceNow. As of now, there's no much changes which I will to find out in the CSGM perspective specifically, which is be on the domain level. No changes has been done by ServiceNow. Still things are going on. And let me stop myself here, and we'll come back again, guys, with some other video on the some more functionality of the next release. Thank you so much. If you get some knowledge, please like it and share with your friends and colleagues as well. Till the time, take care and bye bye, guys.